Hi, everybody. I'm back. Oh my goodness. I have not had my computer for over 3 weeks, so I apologize for being absent. I did have a wonderful time during those 3 weeks. We had a great meetup at Clint Westwood's place. Went out to Sue's and had a beer, and the boys played some pool, and it was really great. And then we all hung out, of course, at Westwood's bar a lot, and got to talk about things. I signed up several people on the new VE Test app, and I appreciate my friend Marky's help with all that. She was encouraging people to join her and me on there, and we've got other people that are starting to build in the creators level. You can buy precious metals. You can buy the Veritasium rounds on there with crypto. So it's all Reggie's patents, peer-to-peer transactions, and a really great place to grow a community. So we'll be talking more about that in the future. But today is a VSTEG day. And there's so much that have happened that we can't even totally catch up. We're just going to start with like yesterday. Stuff that happened today, and we'll kick into what we think is going to happen tomorrow. Just a little bit. So we'll be right back with Ben from Skullcap SaVant right after this. Welcome back, Ben. Good to see you. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I'm honored to be your first show back.
It's a great show because it is so interesting to so many people, and you have a lot of knowledge about history and also all the kind of VSTEG linguistic stuff around that. And it's insane the number of posts that like the White House, all the gray Twitter certified accounts are posting, trust the plan. And I mean,
yeah, they've just extended the Q post meme now really heavily. We've touched on it over like really just this last since spring, since the Iran war, really, let's call it. Wouldn't really call it a war, skirmish. Yeah, the Iran situation.
This Iran situation, it's really more about the money laundering. And I think that's, to me, all that fraud is coming out. I do have a couple things that are like some confirmations or whatever regarding like local things that are happening that are just showing more and more of this fraud is coming out. And also that the Treasury has always had the power to kind of out this and hold people accountable, where in the past, like, oh, we'd see this, but nothing would happen. Nobody goes to jail, all this. And so they're finally starting to show some of that. And I think Besant was kind of leaning to that today a little bit, but
so he is leaning toward some crazy stuff yesterday too.
Was that yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday that he was talking.
You're talking about the Fox News interview, right? Where he alluded to the gold reserves in Fort Knox.
No, I was talking about another, like a press conference kind of thing. But yeah, when he did the interview with Jesse Waters,
you're talking about his press conference from today, where he I think we talked about this actually, where maybe we didn't. Where he's going to attack the illicit funding sources and cut them off. That's what the thing is that you're talking about.
Yes.
It's pretty interesting. The Q posts coming into such relief like they are. Like the other thing about today is that's interesting is there's been a countdown clock for like a year on IngersollLockwood.com that coincides with this speech tonight.
Well, and tonight, which we've got to back up and do some of the stuff you were telling me about before we got started for yesterday as well. But tonight is the anniversary of JFK Jr.'s.
That's where I was going with this. Yeah. So sorry to cut you off. That's
you're fine. You're good.
That's a little known, maybe well known in this community. Who knows? But 27 years ago today, JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy crashed their plane and died, as the story is told. And so it's interesting. 27 is the ritual murder number. You know, this is like when Kurt Cobain died and Hendrix died and Alanis Morissette died. All these, you know, there's a whole list of these people that have died at age 27. So it's kind of a nod to the ritual murder number and kind of a, you know, a nod to the Q posts and the fuck you. That's, you know, that if JFK Jr. is really running this op, like as a distinct possibility, like all of us think, it's pretty brilliant the way that he's mastered the reverse memology of the spell casting that they like to use in all of this. So it's consequent to our discussions about the Timex watch, right? Like the Timex Intrepid in the Intrepid Museum and Pier 88. And remember the ritual murder of the helicopter crash last year. We had this whole arc with the Wolverine story that came out of the breathing video, the famous breathing video, and it kicked us all off on this course of action, right?
Yeah.
Remember that there was royalty from the Barcelona football team, the heir apparent, to take over the football club. The soccer team, the FIFA soccer team. The Siemens CEO was also on that crowd.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right? I see what you're saying.
That?
Yes.
It's all coming full circle now, too. With the World Cup, Spain is playing in the final.
And the corruption that's coming out with FIFA and all the rigging. I mean, they've been trying to tell us with UFC. They've been trying to tell us with the, even before that, with the Mike Tyson thing. Like, this is all contract. And then it's all, you know, robbing people. But, you know, if you're dumb enough to play the game, I guess.
Well, there's a reason why they're doing all this subversive messaging. You know, this is all just hand in hand with the Q posts reigniting, essentially, just using more official channels on X accounts. And it's interesting. They're doing it on X. They're not doing it on Instagram. They're not doing it on Truth Social. That's still Truth Social, still where Trump is. It is. Stuff.
Yeah, he's posting there, but there's really not the audience that there is on X. And that's
looks like he's divesting it anyway. It's going up for sale. It's Trump Media, and part of Trump Media, apparently there's a deal with a purchase and a buyout today on that. So that we haven't talked about yet. But
once again, the timing of all this stuff is insane. I mean, if we break down the the Japanese just rolled out their version of like Clarity Act or whatever, and tokenizing assets. They're going to be tokenizing their version of Wall Street. And then magically today, there's a huge blackout of all the payment processing in Japan. Don't forget, Reggie Middleton has very, very many patents in Japan.
As well as the U.S.
As well as the U.S.
They were granted in Japan first, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Many other countries as well. But, and then, you know, we had seen that announcement about DTCC using Stellar to basically tokenize, but put assets on, you know, properties, whatever. And that's what I had shared with my Patreon back when we sold our house, and no one would answer at the IRS to give us a lien release.
I remember that.
Years ago. Yeah. From my husband. And then my friend that is like the right-hand guy for the county court clerk told me, okay, go to this DTCC website, find this, you have to list your name a certain way, blah, blah, blah. And we were able to find the release. So they've been doing this. It's not gonna happen. It's already happened. And they just like in Cliff's data, they were going to be running parallel. We would have multiple parallel systems running for a while.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I think the lights have to go out to make the switch. And that's why that happened in Japan. And to your point earlier, when we were just getting started, you said, oh, and look, just as Japan is supposed to, you know, they're that with the bonds and all that crap. And they're about to just, there's been bankruptcies, all this kind of crazy stuff.
They're going to raise the interest rates. It's going to destroy the Japan carry trade.
But now
it doesn't raise rates. They've kept it zero bound since the beginning of the 80s. You know, it's well, maybe not quite that far back.
But this tokenization gets rid of a lot of the corruption because there's no more derivatives. There can't be derivatives with the tokenization. And that's what, like, even on a very small local level, let me see if I can share this page, or I'll just read it off. But this Oklahoma State auditor, I've been following her for years. She kind of kicked off around COVID time. And she was going around and she was posting all these little things. Oh, this city, this city, this city. And then this one today is the city of Washington, Oklahoma. It's a tiny, tiny little town where one of my friends live, actually. And it says that there is over $1,022,412 of misappropriated funds where the board had oversight and failed to watch. And then it goes, she says, this is the worst example of board oversight I've ever seen in 29 years of government auditing experience. This is from Auditor Cindy Bird. It's BYRD, which I'm sure that's all nod stuff.
Just like Admiral Bird.
Right. Of course.
Must be related.
It goes into the misappropriations. This lady, Susan Knoll, misappropriated over $676,000 via checks, debit card, credit purchases, and digital payments.
Is this like vacations and stupid shit like that too?
Oh, yeah, it gets good. Let me just read through. I'll just real quick. Paid toward Bank of America credit card accounts belonging to her and her spouse. That was almost $300,000. $26,000.
$300,000 in credit cards that you're buying. Yeah.
$26,000 in Amazon purchases primarily delivered to Noel and her family members. Items include a memory foam mattress, sectional couch, espresso machine, cordless vacuum cleaner, vibration plate exercise machine, countertop ice maker.
Vibration play exercise. That's a sex couch, isn't it?
Plate. Vibration plate. No, my mom has one. It's not a sex thing, promise.
Okay.
That would be horrible.
I thought you said, okay.
No,
vibration play. I'm sorry.
Plate. It's like you stand on it.
Like, wow, they're getting exotic with their.
No.
Sorry.
And then electric dog clippers. Also $30,000 transferred to Noel's personal Venmo account and used for dog-related expenditures such as grooming and transportation. Then it goes into payroll abuses, like it's crazy, missing revenue. So over $1 million. And this is only from 21 to 24. So less than 3 years, or about 3 years.
Well, were these people in office before that, or was that just?
Yeah,
it was because it was council members, right? Is that who it was?
It's one lady. The one lady that it was there. She was like, ultimately, the financial welfare of the town ultimately rests with the board, which failed to exercise the oversight. But this is this one lady named Susan Knoll, and it's 1/3 of the town's total expenditures.
Wow.
I
was going to ask that because, I mean, on the surface, 770,000 doesn't sound like that, but it's not that big of a town.
No, it's over $1 million. 1,022,000.
So she was just personally responsible for 770,000 of it. Was that because I thought I heard that? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
But there were other members then.
But there's also over 22 or something thousand of missing cash that just was never documented for like cemetery plots and all kinds of stuff. Like, it's crazy when you read through it.
Well, there you go. There's an example of what Scott Bessent is going to be cracking down on. Be really cool if they just have a switch that they can go just power it all down.
I think they do. That was
cut off. What's that now?
I think they do. I think that's the thing, is that's part of the reason it had to take so long for all of us, is because you set the trap and then you let them do their normal things, and then they're getting caught in their own trap. You know, I mean, we've been digital for a long time.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. It's just, I mean, the individual lines of messaging that get created by way of all of these different transaction mechanisms and pass-throughs, it gets to the point where you start to wonder, you know, can they shut it all down at once just because there are so many nodes?
Maybe it's a rolling thing. Like We're seeing blackouts in Cuba, Venezuela, Argentina, all these blackouts kind of rolling through. But then now we're seeing Japan, all their payment processing is down. And then you see, so maybe it will go in kind of like, okay, we'll do payment processing one day. We'll do.
That's been just today, the payment processing, because I hadn't heard that before you said that. So that's just today.
Yeah, this morning.
Okay.
There was some other stuff today.
Well, also today, the bells launched to smashing success, selling out in seconds. Like
literally.
Apparently you couldn't even hit the buy, but did you want to buy one? Don't tell me.
I hit the notification. So I'm on the Mint's notifications. Yes, I'm that dork. And
I am too. I get those. Yeah.
We can be dorky together.
That's how I found out about this today. I was like, oh yeah, that's today.
Yeah, at noon. So it went live at noon. And if pretty much the minute you go there, it was gone, done, sold out. And that means, so what I thought of that is it's not only $1,500 an ounce silver, because they were $750 for the little half-ounce bells. It's also unobtainium, because it's not all of silver, but those were unobtainable. So I think some of that language is coming to fruition from Cliff's data, and that's really
which are just prescient markers, which is all there in the first place. When the prescient language manifests, that means these conditions unfold. Blank, 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 blank. And so that's how it always works.
Yeah.
So good interpretation. You might be right about that. The unobtainium of, even if it's a collectible item, meet the language does manifest that way, doesn't it? So
it definitely does. I mean, that's where we are manifesting this. And
it was always this meme that was indicative of the revaluation of silver to its actual value, maybe $1,500 an ounce. I don't know what's going to come out of the thing tonight. It's
I know.
To get back.
Tell everybody what the thing is. Tell everybody that. Oh, maybe we did that during the same time that JFK Jr.'s plane went down. The anniversary of that. During that same period of time, Trump will be speaking and addressing the nation. And Mom or Charlie, somebody, I think it was Charlie, already said that several stations, I can't remember which ones, ABC, NBC, or something like that, are refusing to show it.
No shit. Wow.
So I don't know which ones.
Well, something's going to go down. I mean, you also don't have that countdown clock that I mentioned on IngersollLockwood.com. Ingersoll Lockwood, guys, the author of the book, Barron Trump and the Fantastic Journey, or whatever, and The Last President. He's got both of those books to his name, and he's been a long time staple in the alternative timeline things. So, we all know we're on the same timeline. We always were, but people have said there's this time traveling aspect to it. So time is this temporal thing that's been ingrained in us. Remember, in my argument, it's Saturn. Saturn is the chronology, chronos. And there is a fuckery with time, whatever time is, as substance. Cliff has gotten into this a little bit, and I've mentioned it on this podcast. I've got 2 books. Time and the phenomena, understanding the phenomenon of time.
Well, and that coincides with them ending daylight savings time.
Yeah, that was key yesterday too. I wanted to mention that next. Great point. That was there's an argument I've also had, daylight savings, where it shifts your temporal circadian rhythm out of whack twice a year.
Yeah,
and the effects on that, I think people don't really realize how vulnerable that might make the mind.
Yeah, the suicide rate goes up, car accidents go up. I can't remember what else. So all these terrible things when they do that. I think it's the fallback.
Yeah, I theorize there may even be some sort of extra propensity for our minds to be softened up in the time between. You know what I mean? Where it's more impressionable, where it's more suggestible, where it's more vulnerable,
Well, we still have to go through one more to get back to the time that we're going to stay on moving forward.
I was wondering, they're not going to keep it where we're at then. It's got to go back one more time.
We have to do one more fallback, and then from that point forward, it will stay as it is.
I see. Well, the Senate was supposed to vote on it today. It was passed by Congress yesterday. Might be noteworthy if it passes today, day and date, with all this time stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, Intrepid Watch, the Timex. Timex used to be called Ingersoll. The company used to be called fucking Ingersoll. And they made a Trump pocket watch back in the day, you know?
Also, tomorrow is World Emoji Day. And guess what the date is on the emoji for calendar? July 17th. If you go look at pretty much any, that is the date for the emoji.
Well,
also, that's Gregorian calendar. If you push it to Julian calendar, July 17th is July 4th.
Oh, so that's interesting.
Time changing.
Very cool. Very cool. There's one more 17 nod.
Oh.
Within the Ingersoll. I mean, if you go to IngersollLockwood.com, you can just find out for yourself.
Okay.
Go look at the address of their headquarters. It's right there.
Oh, yes.
On the main page.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah. This countdown clock we now know what it's for. Everybody was wondering what the fuck this countdown clock was for like over a year. And there used to be an image of the World's Fair on there, and it said target initiation date between July 4th and March 31st. So July 4th, 2026.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. That's the countdown for the speech.
Oh, I applied to this. Space Force hiring.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff yesterday about military too. Trump is extending an arm of coolness to enlist. My argument is we have 80 years to prepare for alien conflict. And the public doesn't yet know that they're facing alien conflict. But you have to get enlistment up before you're going to fucking do anything about it, right? This is very early stages of this alien war.
There's a really weird Department of War tweet today about asking for engineers. And maybe it was yesterday. In fact, I think there's been a couple lately, but it's a recruitment effort. And it's a QNOD, and it's about recruitment of engineers and like people to build stuff. And
we'll get into a couple of the announcements he made yesterday too, relative to the military. But first, for the viewer, scroll down. Let's finish that thread to show.
I mean, look at this. So this goes in line with Trump speaking 1 hour.
And it's been counting down continuously. Everybody's like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And it's this speech. So this countdown clock was concocted. And there used to be an image on there. Now you see this recruitment video. There it is.
Funding American.
They're really pushing for enlistment to go. And what better than Gen Z is going to be jobless unless they do something. And hey, why don't you come? Hey, kids, you lack purpose. You want fraternity and camaraderie. Come join the special forces of Space Force. You know, and people are rah around that. And
well, think about what they did to get us out, give people jobs after the Great Depression. They had those public works thing, and they built the dams, and they built the national parks and the roads and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. We need people to do stuff other than trade school. It's not for everybody. So anyway, there it is. There's your address right there. Do you see what their address for the headquarters is?
1717 Pennsylvania Avenue. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This is all very funny to me. This is, again, and look at how tongue-in-cheek all the UFO shit is. Like it's really, they're trying to bust those meme walls down, especially with Gen Z. They're speaking directly to them with a lot of this.
I love
there's going to be some nods to the military stuff tonight too, but I suspect, like yesterday, there were a couple of announcements, and I think there were even executive orders that Trump made. I was talking to a friend about this last night, where I don't know if you saw, but he put forth a really helpful piece of dictate that the military houses all these kinds of engineers when they join, and they operate all sorts of heavy machinery, and they just get taught how to do it when they're there. So they're better than what we're going to do is anybody that's operated commercial and heavy machinery in the military, once they leave, we're going to offer them an immediate and automatic commercial license to drive whatever they want.
Yeah.
And that will solve employment crisis. It'll push out all of this fraud that's going on.
And it will help with our infrastructure of supply chain, because people are freaking out that all these illegal drivers are getting kicked out of the country and deported and all that. But you know what? Pound sand, buddy. We'll put a veteran.
Well, they're going to be more discerning, aren't they? Is what you're getting at. They're going to be able to look for suspicious things in cargo transport or whatever. They're just going to be a more patriotic bunch, for one. Yeah. So anyway, Space Force. This is at the heart of all this stuff. We talked about it in our last video with the Huntsville being relocated, even though it was already always there.
Yeah.
I had Jenny do a reading for me on Kurt Davis. Yeah, blind one, because she has her Q&A that she does a couple of times a month.
Yeah.
On the Patreon. So I was like,
join Jenny's Patreon, and you too can ask her questions.
Definitely subscribe. And it's like, what, $15 a month or something for 17. There you go. 17. Right. So I wonder why that is. I wonder why Jenny picked $17.
I think we all know.
I just blindly, I love when she does the blind. Like, I don't know who the fuck this person is, but she just flips cards for them.
Well, that's what, when we were there for Bix's birthday, she met us there. And it's so funny because I get into all my geeking out and comms and things. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, I just read the cards. So she's very knowledgeable about history and the military and lots of things, but she doesn't necessarily see the same patterns that some of us see. But the way she gets information is from her cards. And so then she's like, okay, yeah, I can confirm that. That sounds like, or she sees this explanation of a situation. It's really cool because it is like a third party kind of ruling almost on, hey, well, we think this, can you give us some confirmation or and then she'll give you some guidance, about some of it. So it's very cool.
Yeah. And you remember Kurt Davis that we talked about. He was the Bell engineer. He was the last guy we talked about. Who went to NASA. He headed up the UFO desk at NASA. This was the last time we spoke a few weeks back.
Okay. Yeah.
And so to speak to your, like the praise that you have of how she's able to interpret things, it was awesome. Yeah. The qualia was there too. I mean, I asked what the historical context for what he provided in his life and what his true motives were. And she, I mean, to a T, she's like, wow, he was involved with some really esoteric, maybe very secret archaeological types of things. I don't know if that makes sense, but how she's like, and he's very detail oriented, very, very, very detail oriented. I forgot the cards she was pulling, but this was the interpretation, right?
You can go watch it on her channel.
Yeah, go watch it on her channel. But she goes into like, and some very important, very like world binding kinds of initiatives or whatever. And so she's like, okay, we'll come back to that. She goes over to the true nature of him, and she pulls the moon and I think the 7 of Wands. Remember, the moon was hilarious to me because he headed up the Apollo 11 program. It was the Apollo program and writ large.
Okay.
Not just Apollo 11 where they went to the moon. But she was like, wow, this is crazy, which means like the moon is this illusory thing where there are some secret motives to it for necessary reasons. You have to shine light a certain way. And she got more clarification and pulled more cards. She's like, it sounds like he was a reluctant participant in lying en masse, to propagandize. There's probably
that's another thing that
involved.
They're starting to talk about turning back the Smith-Mundt Act thing, that how Obama had changed it to where it can be used to spy on or misinform Americans. That's another thing there's a bill. He
legalized that in 2013, where it became legal for news to mislead. And that's where journalistic integrity fell apart. That's why you don't have sourcing anymore. That's why you have sources that were close to the matter, but refuse to be named because anonymity is more important. This is bullshit.
Yes. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know we're trying to pack in as much.
No. It's fine. It's just, I'm trying to paraphrase for everybody, just, tying the two together with Kurt Davis in the last episode, Lisa and I did. And this one, remember, Nazi Bell engineer, rocket program, UFO desk, the guy that was heading up Huntsville space program, most likely. And she said he's like really troubled though his whole life because he was working on such impactful things. And he was a reluctant participant in getting kicked out of a very prestigious group, she said, which to me says the paperclip program itself may have been something that these scientists that came over to us were reluctant to. They probably wanted to go with their countrymen down Antarctica and shit. And it was more important that they install themselves here because I think, Lisa, that we were so far behind them after World War II, but they knew about the alien incursion. It puts their motives into a whole different direction, right? The Nazi scientists, I think. Mm-hmm. And the paperclip program itself becomes this knowledge transfer item, perhaps, where the propaganda was necessary to extract us. It was a slow burn over 80 years to get us to the point where we're at. And part of it, I think, is building a secret Space Force fleet. The vehicles themselves, like the testing programs, that all of it for us to have weaponry ready for fisticuffs with space aliens if we need it. It had to be created underground so that prying eyes from space couldn't easily get intel down to us. This is a very complex situation, right? And I just thought I might throw that in there because
also all the satellites, the Golden Dome being part of that. And, we're hearing that.
Which is all, these were all programs that were, you're right on it, that were installed as part of this rollout, part of the secret technology build over the last 80 years, and the knowledge transfer from the Germans that came over with paperclip.
Which and that now makes it's sense when you, I'm sorry. Yes, that makes sense when you were saying, how are they going to do this? How are they going to, is it going to go black and everybody can turn the lights off and turn the lights back on in the new system? Will it roll out in stages like we're kind of seeing where, the blackouts in some places and then, that was too chaotic. Okay, well, let's just try in Japan. Mm-hmm. We'll just cut off their, it's interesting to me as well, a little woo, that Taylor Swift over the 4th of July holiday got married. So she's technically no longer the end of Swift. If you want to play.
What does that mean? Like, you're gonna have to catch me up on what that means.
So Swift system, the old
Swift and Taylor's. Okay.
Payment systems. I think that part of them, just like when they were doing stuff with the Eagle, they got that Sydney Sweeney girl. And then everybody was talking American Eagle, because it floods the language.
Right. There's a triggering mechanism for word association. It's on its own that elicits other thoughts companion to the branding message, but really, the secret subversive steganography of it.
Or is there to obfuscate what they're doing with the American Eagle.
That's the purpose of steganography at all. So you're right on it. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So with the whole, this weekend, 4th of July or over 4th of July weekend, sorry, it's been a blur the last 3 weeks. Yeah. But they have for them to, it's the Swift wedding. Swift, what's his name?
Travis Kelce, I think.
Kelce. So now she's technically Taylor Kelce, traditionally. So anyway, I just love all that kind of stuff. And then watching
that's how you get your modern tabloid fix.
It's better than that because I can unpack it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun. I love it.
It's going to be a meaningful thing tonight, though, to kind of pack this all up for everybody. I mean, we have all these themes that have been circulating. I mean, you have the money reset. You have IngersollLockwood.com. I just sent you an image I want you to pull up too, companion, because what IngersollLockwood.com had when the countdown began was this image. It's an AI generated image that was on there. I just dropped it into the StreamYard thread for sharing. It's in the bottom there.
In the private chat?
I mean, the image, I can upload an image here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. It's my
Yeah,
screen
there
is
you
not
go.
big enough because I have too many things open.
So
Okay.
this, before they had that recruitment video, they had that same countdown clock up above, and then they had this World's Fair 2026 thing. And this was and you see it, proposed kickoff date, July 4th, 2026 through March 10th, 2027.
Oh, just sometime in there.
This means, yeah, well, we're in that range now. This image is gone. To me, that says military, now in hindsight, even clear, military operation complete by a proposed date of these date ranges, depending on how quickly things go in the operational sphere of what we're about to embark on, right?
Okay.
The Iran operation, the whole money revaluation operation, Space Force being reinstituted, going back to Huntsville. There are a lot of things that have been percolating, the whole pedophile trade, just all of it.
One more thing, Ben, this saying pioneering frontiers. Remember when we found the artist guy? Oh gosh, I wish I could remember his name. That he did the World War, was it one? The big with the water fountain thing, and then he just did the one that we talked about on the last show.
And he unveiled it at ARC, which, you know, America, Russia, China. In
London, but it will eventually be actually built in Utah. And when I asked him, I said something about, what does this say? Say what this circle is on the top without saying portal. And he responded to my tweet and said, it's a wagon wheel. Yeah. Pioneer, frontiers.
Yeah.
So
that's even part of his description. I think he said something like that.
That he said portal?
No, something like pioneering frontiers. If I recall him correctly, I think he said something like it represents the expansion westward and the American frontier, or something like that, right?
Right. Yep.
And so,
but if you look at this image, that's a portal, or those are multiple portals. Probably that's probably a map of portals.
Well, you had the Elon video, the 4th of July video that came out that got circulated. That AI music video, it was actually pretty good and like awe-inspiring and galvanizing.
It's called like gosh, what's it called? What do you remember what it was called? It's like, it makes me think of that movie with John Travolta and oh god dang it, I'm not
Face Off.
No, the one with what is that keeps getting shared?
Pulp Fiction, Swordfish.
Pulp something. Yes, Pulp
Fiction.
That's what I'm thinking of. And it's called like Pulp something, isn't it? The website, Heavy Pulp.
Heavy Pulp, yeah.
Yeah. This is the one that he
was the creator. The creator of the video, I think, is attributed to that domain. Yeah.
And so they keep sharing this Heavy Pulp. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Elon's shared it like 3 times since the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And Elon is just, a cog in this whole kayfabe charade. He's one of the characters. Sweetland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all the imagery and all this stuff, I mean, if you notice, like they're driving hard to go back to white America, man. Like, look at all the white people.
They just showed a rainbow, like Road to Ruta.
Yeah, I know, but you hear what I'm saying too. Like,
yeah,
this is very Americana, which is, and it's not about racism, but it is about the whole Aryan thing, the engineering thing. There's, you hear Cliff say it a lot, right? Like, look, guys, you want a society run right, you put your white people engineers ahead of it. Like, look what happens in South Africa. Remember when South Africa like got vacated and all of the farmers got pushed out, all of this stuff that from the encroaching forces and the invading, native populations of the rest of Africa. There was this big campaign. I'm trying to be diplomatic about what I'm saying.
They got rid of it was the boar, kill the boar,
right,
and all that. And
the cities fell into disrepair and
the white
within
farmers.
2 months. Yeah, exactly. What what's tragic about all of this is that white people have been the most discriminated against people of the last 100 years. Yeah. And we've got to believing the lie that we were these bad people that were somehow despicable for beliefs that we didn't even hold. You know, we're blamed for being racist when we're actually not, you know.
I think you could say that about like a lot of cultures, though. Just that, but it's the lie that's perpetuated by the media. Once again, we go back to the Smith-Mundt Act and all of that, and that people thinking that there's more of them than us, and thinking that, oh, you know, the white people are, you know, the majority, and the fact that they call anyone that's not white a minority when there's only 8% of white people in America or something like that.
And the other hilarious thing to me too, Lisa, is like, oh, what's diversity? And the white phenotypes are the most diverse that you can find. I mean, you got the most colors of hair that you can, the most colors of eyes, the most vibrant, let's call it diversity within the one phenotype.
Right. And it is multicultural. It'll be Scottish. I mean, I think Polish, Scottish, English, Irish, Dutch, German. I don't even know.
These are just cultural associations over time. And they all have that common. There's an Aryan ancient historical society. It has nothing to do with them being a superior race. It has everything to being a unique race and uniquely good at certain things. And we're pain in the ass is one of our best qualities, right? White people are a pain in the ass because we actually finally, when we're pushed into a corner, be careful. Like we're pacifists in a lot of ways. Just like, leave me alone. I want to be left alone and I want to be at peace. And when it comes down to it, though, we're uniquely in tune to engendering this influential movement quality too, of really rational ways forward with things. You know, we still kind of default to wanting to solve problems legally instead of violently, right? Look at all the effort that we put into it before we're finally pushed into a corner, right? It's a good quality to have. And by keeping that lineage clean, the argument that I have is we need every race on this planet for the diversity of it, because each race has a strategic strength embedded within keeping them in their cultural lane. You know, there are strengths that blossom from all of them. And this country here has a heritage that goes back to Tartaria, even if you really want to put the really deep historical context into it. And it was a country of Tartarian Aryans. The native population arrived here in a cataclysm. Like, they came here after a cataclysm, I think an attack by space aliens 12,000 years ago. I think what the Younger Dryas period was it was an attack, more specifically on us than any, to wipe out the ancient world, the Atlantean world, right? And there's some deep traumatic scars that a lot of us reincarnated now today are carrying forth from those times too, to finally win that war. And again, pain in the ass quality. I think there's a strong case to be said that we will be the bulwark for making the change happen within this country. It's not like you need to push. I do think you need to push all the invading forces out that don't belong here.
And that's happening,
but
you can't even get on anything without seeing all.
But nobody's making anybody go home that's had generations and generations, especially the black slaves from the Civil War period.
That's who was protected in the Constitution under the 14th Amendment.
Right. They're specifically protected under the 14th Amendment. And they're the only ones, in fact. They're the only ones. And
not the invaders. Yeah.
Exactly. So
great point.
But there's a quality to that video that need be paid attention to, I think. And the heart of the culture that made this place awesome was white people being crazy and fucking nuts.
Well, you're seeing that now in Scotland and Ireland, where they've had enough and they're standing up and pushing out the mosques and saying no and all this kind of stuff. I've got to wrap it up here pretty quick, but sure. I do want to read some of the things Marco's posting over in VE Test on the LTC Lisa live chat, which is a free tier that you can join. There's information in the description below. Make sure you choose LTC Lisa sent me, because you get 10% off my studio or my store, anything in it. But he says several major media and TV stations have confirmed they will not broadcast Donald Trump's primetime address tonight, July 16th, opting instead for streaming only coverage, no preemption. Confirmed non-broadcasters or main channels are ABC, let's see, ABC News Radio, NBC News Now, CNN, what else? CBS, not confirmed whether they would air or not.
The best idea is just to find it online, probably on YouTube, right?
Most likely the White House.
The whitehouse.com, yeah.
Or go to Right Side, but Right Side's sound is kind of terrible sometimes, so I would choose and there's a White House app. You can download that. It's probably going to be on that. But then he brings up a really interesting thing. And Shmi, which is our friend in Ireland, actually, and I'll be doing a show with him here in the next few weeks, hopefully. But so Marco says, tonight there are rumors and expectations that election infrastructure sources briefed on the plan suggest Trump will argue there are significant vulnerabilities in the U.S. election infrastructure based on the reexamination of old FBI files, foreign interference, allegations that China compromised the U.S. voter data, and that CIA withheld the information during Trump's first term despite previous intelligence conclusions and to the contrary. So they may have some other ones. Caroline Leavitt did say that he's bringing receipts tonight. Like, there will be proof. This was interesting because
of election fraud specifically, it sounds to that.
Yes, talking about our election system, which this had to happen before midterms. We knew this was coming, but Marco brings up, because he was talking about this today. We were working on some stuff together, and he said, I wonder what time zone the 17th starts, if they're talking UTC time or are they talking Eastern time? Like, what's the trigger? And he asked Shmi, who's in Ireland, he said, isn't it already the 17th where you are? And Shmi says, yep, sure is, Marco. Above the rumors of the speech, shouldn't raise too many eyebrows, could be something else. We'll just have to wait and see. But he's not going to wait for it, but we'll tell him all about it tomorrow. I also want to give a huge shout out to my buddy and one of my closest friends, Satoshi Sean. Happy birthday. And I missed you while I was gone.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Yes. And I think it's yesterday actually, but I didn't have my computer or anything. So I've been like completely out of the loop. So happy birthday to Satoshi Sean. I love you very much. And I'm very grateful for you. So just wanted to mention that.
Well, let's see if things get bad enough after announcements. I don't know if this is, again, these countdowns, guys. It's noteworthy. Something about all of these narrowing of events, the Ingersoll meme leading to today, McKinley's assassination, the World's Fair, the Buffalo firefighter who was allegedly murdered in the Butler's house. All this stuff in the last couple of days.
His wife speaking out. You said yesterday.
Right. The wife spoke, the alleged wife of this operative that was actually probably in the audience to kill Trump. If you guys have heard my alleged, speculation being, but they all lead to maybe a fracturing in a way if we invalidate sitting members of the Senate, which might come tonight.
Brunson takes them out. If Brunson comes through, we have a situation on our hands then. We would have to enact Article 5 naturally and create state by state constitutional conventions to rejigger all this. And this may be the illusion of there being no midterm elections. If that happens that way. Well, then it's Nasser Jacera, because you push it, or it goes in line with Nasser Jacera. I'm sorry, Bex. But you push the elections to March, because it's 120, it takes 100, some announcement has to happen, and then it's like 120 days, which I believe pushes it to March. I can't remember.
You'll also notice VSTEG in this, if this happens, Article 5 as written in the constitutional framework for if you have to enact it is Article V. It's a Roman numeral. So there's a little bit of a nod there too, if we have to go that route, which might be possible.
And on the 4th of July, the Treasury posted a thing in the Jubilee, the Treasury Jubilee. I'll have to find it on my Twitter. I don't know. There's so many columns you cannot even keep.
Well, notice if we do the Article 5 thing too, what we were mentioning before about 14th Amendment. 14th Amendment isn't in danger of being kicked out, but we need to clarify the language of it. And this is the perfect place to do it. This is where you can also abdicate and remove amendments that are no longer useful if we go this route. Article 5 might be the best way for everybody to approach this. Elections are no longer valid. We need to bring it back to the people in order to fucking, institute this. Yeah. And we can then clarify once and for all, guys, it's the black slaves and their ancestors after them that were protected by this. They didn't have any choice coming here. They were brought here against their will. We owed that to them. Not just
black people, because a lot of people were brought here against their will. Actually, more Irish slaves.
Sure, and we took care of them too. We took care of the Irish too.
But that's totally different than
Well, people that elected to invade, it's totally different, the circumstances. And so then the circumstances mean everything to this. So it's going to get weird out there if some of this stuff happens with the elections. And I anticipate that after today might be a very impactful moment for all of us. We'll see. It's
not weird yet. It's going to get weird.
Yeah. Well,
I love it. I love all of it. And I love all of you. Please check out my you scan the QR and join me over at VE Test. You can chat with me anytime over on my free live chat tier and sign up. We're getting Ben signed up on there, and
I'm already signed up. I recommend it.
I know, but we need to build your stores and things.
We do. I'm sorry, guys. It's been I'm very busy myself, and I got to get
unbusy
time.
So you can get real busy. Yeah. All right. Well, love to you all once again. Happy birthday, Sean. Love you very much. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Mm-hmm.